Harvey Norman clearance and Sunday. Don't miss the great deal store-wide. Massive deal on the Dyson Gen 5 outsize, now under 1,000. Up to a huge 30% off Windows 11 computers. Amazing value in the Australian-made King Coil Conformer Aspect Queen mattress, now just $9.99. Lusso fabric recliner and footstool, hot price just $4.99. Don't miss out on more great deals in store and online. Plus, stores open till late. Hurry, clearance and Sunday at Harvey Norman.
No.
There's nowhere on earth as perfect
Your leg's stuck.
as this.
This is a disaster.
The travel guide's first ever
5-star, 5-star, 5-star.
perfect holiday. Perfectly surprising.
Are these traditional ones?
No, girl, this from the $2 shop.
And perfectly magical. All new Travel Guide's Perfect Holiday. Tonight at 7 on 9 and 9 now. Life really is better outside with Reflections Loyalty Club. Score $25 just for joining and a heap more rewards just for staying. Simply join free today at reflectionsholidays.com.au.
Oh, no. Hey. Hey. Is that the McSmart meal from Macca's?
Yeah, 2 burgers, small fries and drink for $6.95.
Smart.
When my marriage fell apart, I felt totally helpless. And I thought I only want to go through this once. But I want a lawyer who's been through this hundreds of times. Our Bosch's advice is spot on.
Get it sorted. Call Bale Boshev Lawyers.
Things are really heating up at Heating and Outdoors by Glendale Warehouse. See the huge range of wood heaters, gas heaters and gas log fires, plus friendly service and expert advice. Now at 2 locations, Glendale and Thornton.
Right at Home's professional team thoughtfully selects caregivers to help with housekeeping, meals, personal and nursing care, and most of all, companionship. We can provide the right care right at home.
Where are we going to get the money?
You need Wallet Wizard. Fast and easy cash loans. walletwizard.com.au.
Divine Drops, the perfect gift for all occasions. Choose 4 crystals that are meaningful to you and interchange to match your intentions for the day. Visit divine-drops.com.au.
Jesus is our only hope in these troublous times. A free Bible is yours by simply contacting jesus1.4u@bigpond.com.
Sydney and Newcastle Gaslog Fire and Wood Heater Clearance Centre. Fire sale, fire sale. Gaslog fires and wood heaters. Red hot fire sale. We're on fire with Australian-made wood heaters from a smoking $14.99. Red hot. Gaslog fires from only $29.99. Australian-made heaters factory direct to the public. We're burning all prices this Friday, Saturday and Sunday. Sydney and Newcastle. NewcastleGaslogFires.com.au.
Regional New South Wales is home to 3.2 million people, but they really missed out on the big bucks today.
The water temperature below me at the moment is above 19 degrees.
Maitland sending a message to the rest of the competition with a 44-6 win.
In a primetime special, 6 Aussie Olympic gold medalists fight it out in the most competitive Grand for Cash ever.
That's a tipping point record.
Tipping Point Olympic Special, Tuesday 7:30 on 9.
In my army, there are no limits to what I can achieve. For myself and for others. This is my army. Discover yours.
Get the power of
financial year savings
at Tyre Power.
You get a great break when you buy 3 and get 1 free on a great range of Toyo tyres.
Get in before June 30 at Tyre Power, Australia's biggest independent.
What happened?
It just took off.
Like just all on its own.
Where are we going to get the money to fix this ceiling?
Wallet Wizard! Fast and easy cash. Just go to walletwizard.com.au.
Timberworks, one of Newcastle's only hardwood furniture specialists. Stylish Australian-made entertainment units, bedroom furniture, unique dining tables and modern bathroom vanities. Experience the selection at Timberworks, Warners Bay.
The High Reach Cleaning Pole from Cut Above Tools, a lightweight sturdy cleaning pole with 6 different attachments, used with or without water, extends to 5 metres, weighs just 1.2 kilos. Select your pole, select your attachments. cutabovetools.com.au.
Here's another powerful reason to choose Tyre Power.
You get the power of plain speaking and friendly expert advice.
From the tyre specialists.
It's advice you can understand and trust.
Tyre Power. Get the power of Australia's biggest independent.
The revolutionary jack belt now comes in the finest, durable, full-grain leather. Adjusting by millimetres for a perfect fit, it makes a wonderful gift for everyone. Order your full-grain leather jack belt from jackoz.com, that's jackoz.com.
Get the job done right every time with Taylor's Outdoor Power Equipment. Get the biggest brands and the best products from the experts, plus accessories, parts and service and repairs. Taylor's Outdoor Power Equipment. Broadmeadow, Glendale, Raymond Terrace, Warners Bay and Singleton.
Thinking of separating? Having trouble dividing assets?
To achieve the property settlement you deserve, plus parenting arrangements, changing wills, super, trusts and more.
Turn to Turnbull Hill Lawyers. Good people to turn to.
It's a place where special moments are made and friends become family. At Cameron Glen, you have the freedom to live independently and still get support and care when you need it. So live each day your way at Cameron Glen.
Welcome to Housing World, showcasing 67 luxury home designs for first home buyers to family homes or grand designs to granny flats. If you are thinking of building, come and explore Housing World for yourself.
Oh, hey, is that the McSmart meal from Macca's?
Yeah.
2 burgers, small fries and drink for $6.95. Smart.
Greg Lynn, convicted killer.
Guilty of murdering Carol Craig.
But the jury wasn't told.
His first wife, Lisa Lynn, was living in absolute fear of Greg.
Plus the exclusive interview with Russell Hill's daughter.
I really feel like the jury should have known everything.
And the young Aussie forced into a fatal marriage.
She was murdered by a monster, and now her mother faces jail time.
Tonight on 9.
The Snooze End of Financial Year sale is on now. Save up to 50% off mattresses, including Sealy, Madison and Tempur, and up to 40% off bed frames. Hurry, sale ends Sunday.
Despicable Me 4 has landed at Macca's. Try our banana desserts range for despicable grown-ups and a Happy Meal for your little minions. Despicable Me 4, only in cinemas.
Rexona Advanced Protection with body heat activated technology. So no matter how hot you get, Rexona keeps working against odor and sweat. Rexona, 72-hour advanced protection.
Morning, Dave.
Hey, Josie. You good?
Can't complain. No one listens.
Oh, I listen.
Hey, buddy. Dave, early start.
You know, babe. Yeah?
Yeah. Sippy down.
Didn't know there'd be a traffic jam in here.
When you buy a Ford Ranger, Australia's #1 selling vehicle in 2023, you become part of something bigger. Get into a Ranger XL, XLS, XLT or Sport today. Now in stock at your Ford dealers.
And Sunday, don't miss the great deals store-wide. Massive deal on the Dyson Gen 5 outsides, now under 1,000. Up to a huge 30% off Windows 11 computers. Amazing value in the Australian-made King Coil Conformer Aspect Queen mattress, now just $9.99. Lusso fabric recliner and footstool, hot price just $4.99. Don't miss out on more great deals in store and online. Plus, stores open till late. Hurry, clearance and Sunday at Harvey Norman.
Tonight, 3 dead and dozens injured or fighting for life following a Greyhound bus crash that ended on train tracks. Payday for every Aussie worker. Tax cuts kicking in to combat cost of living struggles. Strap in or pay the price. Seatbelt cameras hours away from switching on. A story of hope and resilience. A Hunter local reunites with his mother after being separated by borders for more than a decade. And the Knights end their 3-game losing streak, leaving the Eels fuming.
This is NBN News with Jane Goldsmith.
Good evening. There's been a major bus crash in North Queensland. 3 passengers killed with dozens more injured and tonight fighting for life. The Greyhound coach collided with a car towing a caravan on the Bruce Highway south of Townsville. The major road right now remains closed and there are fears the death toll could rise.
Embedded in the front of this Greyhound bus is a caravan, launched from the 4-wheel drive towing it during a high-speed collision on Queensland's busiest road, the Bruce Highway.
There's been a collision between those 2 vehicles, very significant impact and very significant consequences.
Confirmation tonight of the 33 on board, 3 women died on impact. In local hospitals, 4 other passengers are fighting for life and the remaining 26 others are being treated. Authorities getting them there any way they could. Helicopter, aeroplane and by ambulance.
A crash of this nature involving this many people is a very significant and very tragic incident for us.
All staff at emergency rooms in Townsville and Ayr were called into work as members of the public were told to stay away unless absolutely necessary. The crash has happened on a narrow 2-lane stretch of the Bruce Highway between Townsville and Bowen, 8 kilometres from the town of Gumloo.
The crash is under investigation. We haven't determined any factors that have contributed to the crash at this stage.
They're known for being tough in North Queensland, and tonight the injured and the community will need every ounce of strength. Alex Heinke, NBN News.
By this time tomorrow, thousands of Australians will be receiving long-awaited help with cost of living pressures. There will be tax cuts for every worker, and those on award wages will have their pay indexed. The federal government confident these measures won't fuel inflation.
Grab some of that. Touring an Indian food factory, the Prime Minister gets hands-on.
That's what it should look like.
Looking for the right ingredients in the right proportion.
Because our objective is to hit the sweet spot.
Seeking to give households some help without worsening inflation.
This cost of living help is substantial, it's meaningful and it's responsible.
13.6 million workers to receive tax cuts from tomorrow, worth at least $350 a year, growing with income. More than $1,900 for someone on $90,000 or $37 a week, almost double for a worker on $140,000. Tax cuts at the top end worth $87 a week.
More help is on the way from tomorrow, the 1st of July.
There'll be energy bill relief for every household. 2.5 million workers will see their award wages increase by 3.75%, and paid parental leave will increase by 2 weeks.
Quite frankly, the cost of living relief that they're going to get does nothing to touch the sides of the pain that they are currently feeling.
The government's political strategy has been to create the conditions for an interest rate cut later this year, but the exact opposite will happen if inflation remains high.
We are confident but not complacent about inflation in our economy.
A lot riding on Jim Chalmers' calculation. Andrew Probyn, NBN News.
Meanwhile, a Labor senator has this afternoon been suspended over her pro-Palestinian actions. National Affairs editor Andrew Probyn filed this report from Canberra a short time ago.
Anthony Albanese today asserted his authority after being openly defied by West Australian Senator Fatima Payman. An Afghan-born Muslim, Senator Payman today vowed she would again cross the floor in support of a motion recognising the state of Palestine, as she did last week. The Prime Minister summoned her to the Lodge this afternoon, furious that she should dare divert the government from its focus on the cost of living. He suspended her indefinitely from the Labor caucus, telling the senator she can only return to the party room when she respects Labor's rules of solidarity. Fatima Payman told me she will respond publicly tomorrow, but for now she'll sit as a rogue senator on the crossbench.
A mother allegedly murdered at the hands of her partner at a casino in the Northern Rivers has been identified as Sarah Miles. Her heartbroken son today sharing his grief, saying his life will never be the same.
Authorities say mother of three, Sarah Miles, is the 47th woman to lose her life at the hands of what senior police are describing as a nationwide domestic violence crisis.
It's all just kind of hitting me. Words cannot describe the pain that I'm feeling at the moment. My mother was a very strong person, fighter always to the end.
Her son Shaden, speaking exclusively to 9 News, says the whole family is heartbroken.
It's not just a loss, it's also dealing with the fact that she was waiting for an hour on the floor. And that is something that will stay with me for the rest of my life.
As Sarah's Johnston Street home in the sleepy town of Casino remains a crime scene, the accused, Sarah's partner, Dwayne John Creighton, charged with murder. 9 News understands police found Sarah with injuries to her head and cheek. The official cause of death still being investigated. Creighton made no application for bail when he appeared via video link from his cell here in Lismore this morning. The 31-year-old returns to court tomorrow. Police also reviewing CCTV vision from a nearby petrol station. Sources say possible acts of alleged violence in the weeks prior to Sarah's death are now being investigated, as those closest to the mother try and come to terms with an unspeakable tragedy.
I'm so proud of her, and I'm proud to have her as my mother, and I'm proud to have been her son.
Bailey Kenzie, NBN News.
And if you or someone you know needs help, you can call 1-800-RESPECT on 1-800-737-732. To breaking news now, and a truck driver who crashed into a Sydney school is tonight accused of having drugs inside the vehicle. Live now to Sophie Upcroft at Sydney Police Centre. Sophie, what have police alleged?
Jane, police say that they found methamphetamines in the cabin of the truck that lost control and hit 9 cars at Moorebank yesterday before ploughing through a church car park and into a primary school classroom. The 21-year-old, allegedly behind the wheel, has been issued a court attendance notice for drug possession while detectives continue to investigate the cause of the crash. The school will reopen tomorrow. The Year 2 students who lost their classroom, alternative arrangements will be made for them. Jane.
Okay, Sophie Upcroft in Sydney, thank you. Special seatbelt detection cameras will be switched on across New South Wales from tomorrow. Drivers and passengers tonight warned to strap up or face hefty penalties.
It's been the law for 5 decades, now a major change in how seatbelt violations are policed.
Seatbelt detection cameras are in operation on New South Wales roads.
Mobile phone detection cameras already scan 135 million drivers a year. Now the same snap will be checked for drivers or passengers not wearing a seatbelt or not wearing it correctly.
Over the last 5 years, 150 people have died in accidents where seatbelts have not been worn. You're twice as likely to die if you're not wearing your seatbelt and you're in a crash.
Right now, police catch around 10,500 people each year either not wearing a seatbelt or not wearing it correctly. Now, data from the trial and from interstate suggests that could jump by as much as 4 times initially, although it should hopefully drop each year after that. It all kicks in from tomorrow. There's no warning period. If you or your passenger are caught, the driver faces an immediate fine of up to $410 and at least 3 demerit points.
What we have found is a very small number of people are not doing the right thing here, and it's very, very dangerous.
We know that not wearing a seatbelt and going at 60 kilometres an hour means that you can suffer significant injuries to your liver, to your spleen and to your abdomen.
With the road tolls still too high, the warning couldn't be clearer.
You can stop it or cop it.
Eddie Meyer, NBN News.
Vandals have targeted several war memorials in Canberra. Pro-Palestinian messages were spray-painted across 4 monuments on Anzac Parade dedicated to fallen Australian soldiers. ACT Police are investigating if this latest act is connected to the National Memorial being vandalised 2 weeks ago. RSL Australia says it is dishonourable in the extreme to use war memorials as a platform for protest. More than 100 Minmai residents have rallied calling for the state government to overturn planning approval of the controversial Winton housing development. The group claims both wildlife and human health is at risk if construction continues.
Standing room only at the Minmai Progress Hall as residents raise their voices about the housing development they claim is destroying their suburb.
It's really an environmental disaster.
In March, the Hunters Regional Planning Panel greenlit an 858-lot housing development proposed by Winton Property Group. Residents say wildlife near the construction site is already being impacted.
Some of them are protected wildlife, and we would like to see this much lighter footprint on the land.
Newcastle's Lord Mayor also speaking at this weekend's rally, confirming council's objection to the development as health concerns grow about the risk of heavy metals and asbestos at the site.
37,000 cubes of contaminated soil.
Ward 4 councillor Liz Adamczyk not confident current infrastructure will be able to support the increased traffic the development will bring.
We're seeing sprawl, really unmitigated environmental impacts.
Resident Mary Pianka says it's high time developer Winton Property come to the table.
Come and meet us. Let's have a sustainable development.
An e-petition live on the State Parliament website is calling for the development's planning permissions to be revoked.
The way you win these things is by coming together as one voice now.
The Department of Planning says it has no plans to step in and overturn the decision by the independent panel, which confirmed the application is consistent with the approved set of design guidelines. Winton Property Group was contacted for comment. Risa Utama, NBN News.
Hunter Valley Police have charged a woman following an unauthorised protest in Lochinvar this morning. Police were called to the railway tracks at Lochinvar around 7:30am after reports a woman was causing obstruction to trains. The 40-year-old was taken to Cessnock Police Station where she was charged with multiple offences. She has been granted conditional bail and is due to appear at Cessnock Court on July 10. The Hunter Valley Gardens has transformed into a winter wonderland just in time for the school holidays. The snowy spectacular already attracting thousands of people keen to skate, toboggan and even have snowball fights.
Gliding and sliding. It might have been raining outside, but inside at the Hunter Valley Gardens, there were adventures to be had.
So much fun. It's awesome.
The ice rink attracting some wobbly first-timers.
A bit terrifying. But we're getting a bit more confident as we go along. Yeah.
As well as those confidently showing off their skills.
Yeah, so yesterday was really good. It was our opening day. Sun was shining. We got almost 2,000 people through the door.
The month-long event attracting families from across the country.
They are loving it. Good bonding time.
A mini rink with seal skating aids built for toddlers and parents, and a bigger rink reserved for 6-year-olds and up.
And Hunter Valley Garden staff smooth everything over. We're doing multiple times a day to keep it nice and flat and safe for everyone.
And with a rainy July forecast by the end of the winter school holidays, 50,000 people are expected to lace up their skates and go for a spin.
It's during the week about 2,000 each day and up to 5,000 on the weekends.
The 45-metre toboggan slide fueling friendly rivalries, with a crash landing almost guaranteed. A sea of white at the snow play zone, it didn't take long for snowballs to fly and snowman building to begin.
It was all real snow. We do 200 tonnes of snow a day.
It's quite an impressive feat.
It's very wintry. It reminds us of Northern Ireland.
Risa Utama, NBN News.
No real snow, but it was certainly cold and wet today. Looking at the weather for the Hunter, quite the change from yesterday's sunshine. Cloudy and 15 degrees with rain in Newcastle, 14 the top at Tokal, 9 to 16 today at Merriwell, 15 for Murrurundi. You're watching NBN News. Still ahead, Joe Biden under pressure to quit after his first election debate goes pear-shaped. What's behind rising beer prices? It's leaving more than a bitter taste. It's costing jobs. And the new Australian team song that's set to lift our Olympic spirit even higher.
Oh, hey, is that the McSmart meal from Macca's?
Yeah. 2 burgers, small fries and drink for $6.95.
Smart. I really want to go.
Okay, I'll think about it. You know, it's never okay for someone to say or do things that make you feel uncomfortable, no matter what. And if you're not sure, you can always talk to me.
Every conversation brings us closer to a world without child sexual abuse. Let's end child sexual abuse, one talk at a time. Authorised by the Australian Government, Canberra.
If you want to do something different, even if you don't know what, Open Universities Australia is here to guide you there. Explore thousands of online courses from Australia's leading universities. Open Universities Australia.
Toyota makes electrified vehicles for all sorts of people. For country people like her, and city people like him. We make them for people with little people. People with not so little people. And people with people who aren't actually people at all. With hybrid, hydrogen and battery electric vehicles, Toyota's not leaving anyone behind. Because together, every step matters. Toyota.
Best sheds up to 40% cheaper. Farm sheds $11,990. Industrial buildings only $18,600.
20% off sale is happening right now on our entire range.
Call Best Sheds on 1800 15 17 80.
The King Steel frame provides true flexibility and a lifetime of comfort. So why buy ordinary furniture when you can come home to King? Hurry, sail on now.
In lands where trucks and utes roam free, it's rail crossing safety for you and me. Trains, they're fast, hard to spot, blooming heavy. Almost 1,000 near misses a year. That's too many. It's no magic potion. Crossing safely is poetry in motion. So a plea to drivers on sunburnt plains. Slow down, look, and listen for trains.
Authorised by the Australian Government, Canberra.
School of Rock the Musical lands in Newcastle, based on the legendary film, and with a rocking new score from Andrew Lloyd Webber. July school holidays. Book now.
So, Dad, what's next? Well, now the Andy Gentleman's Outfit is in town, there's only one place to go.
All roads lead to Charlestown. See Andy Roberts and get 21% off everything in store during the Gentleman's Outfitters Charlestown 21st birthday sale. 21% off everything.
US President Joe Biden will turn to his family this week as he retreats to Camp David with pressure mounting on the 81-year-old after his disastrous debate performance. The New York Times editorial board labelling his campaign a reckless gamble and called for him to step aside.
America's oldest president reaching out for his resolute First Lady. Dr. Jill Biden has been at his side since he left the debate stage, his #1 political aide. They spent the day crisscrossing New York and New Jersey, seeking to calm nervous donors, including a fundraiser hosted by Hollywood heavyweights Sarah Jessica Parker, Matthew Broderick and Michael J. Fox, wanting to reassure them that cash to the campaign is still flowing. $40 million received in 2 days, even after Friday's floundering performance.
With the COVID, with dealing with everything we have to do with, look,
The New York Times editorial board today calling his campaign a reckless gamble. He struggled to hold Mr. Trump accountable for his lies, his failures and his chilling plans. More than once, he struggled to make it to the end of a sentence. The greatest public service Mr. Biden can now perform is to announce that he will not continue to run for re-election. This evening, he headed back to Camp David, where he and Jill will be joined by their children and their grandchildren.
This family gathering had already been planned ahead of the debate, but the president is expected to discuss his future campaign with perhaps the only people with the power to convince him to step aside.
A man has been shot dead at the Israeli embassy in Belgrade after firing a crossbow and injuring a police officer. The man had asked the officer for directions before attacking him. The policeman has now undergone surgery, with Serbia's interior minister calling it a terrorist attack. Craft brewers are shutting up shop around the country, with rising costs increasing the price of beer. They're now calling on the federal government to do something or risk a collapse in the domestic industry.
Black Ops Brewing on the Gold Coast was less than 24 hours away from liquidation. Now, industry veteran Nick Boots is trying to build it back up, but times are tough.
Everything involved in the business is going up exponentially from 10 to 20 to 30% in some cases.
The pressure is on, even for one of Australia's largest craft brewers.
Our costs have just risen almost out of control. Our electricity bill's gone from around $4,500 a month to almost $12,000 a month over the last 2 years.
If you're wondering why a pint is so expensive these days, here's why. Since before the pandemic, prices for materials and production costs used to make beer have all spiked. High inflation means the alcohol tax has also gone up, indexed twice a year. Beer excises have gone up by almost 8% in the last 12 months.
44% of the cost of your beer is paid in excise tax.
Which is the third highest for beer production in the world.
I've got to say, it does feel like at the moment that the federal government uses the industry as an absolute cash cow.
It's forcing many of the industry's close to 700 brewers to the wall.
I would suggest we've probably lost 5% in the last year, but there's nothing stopping another 20% of that 700 going by the wayside if there's not some significant change.
Brewers are calling on the government to change taxes, which could help them lower rising costs and the price of beer.
Really, the federal government are the ones right now and in the future that can help.
But the government isn't budging, saying this is the usual legislated automatic indexation change. We listen respectfully to ideas, but these have to be weighed up against other priorities and within the budgetary constraints. For a government with 2 craft beers named after prime ministers, local brewers had hoped for more.
The motto for the 2024 Olympic Games in Paris, now only a handful of weeks away, is faster, higher, stronger, together. And last night, Australia's team revealed that it has taken one of those elements to create an anthem that will spur on our medal hopefuls.
The Prime Minister's Olympic dinner is when the captains of industry meet their sporting counterparts to keep the coin coming, to help earn the gold.
Tonight is a chance to get a whole bunch of people in a room to drum up excitement.
The flag bearers who led our athletes into Olympic and Paralympic stadia across the decades would be honoured. And Australia's representatives witnessing for the first time their own team song, developed by Olympians themselves and sung by Jessica Malboy.
We'll take it higher and higher, always beside you. Show me you're a fighter, and even if we fall, we're burning with the fire that won't fade away.
I have sort of seen it go from an idea, and I can't wait to see her debut it tonight.
The strength, the energy, the emails back and forth with what they wanted and what they really liked.
I hope that it is just going to galvanise Australia to get behind Paris Olympians.
And the heroes of this generation will inspire the next generation to dream of wearing the green and gold.
One of those, 11-year-old water polo player Bella Waters, aiming to compete in Brisbane in 2032.
I hope to follow in their footsteps, and I can't wait to watch them compete in Paris.
Mike Dalton, NBN News.
Coming up next, the terrifying moment a Sydney worker is held at knife point, the armed thieves tonight on the run. A 24-hour rescue operation. Watch the moment a humpback whale is freed from fishing lines. And an Aussie marathon runner makes the comeback of a lifetime, set to take on the world's best in Paris.
Australia just in front. If you think your cost of living is tough, the Albanese government is about to make it tougher for regional Australia. They want you to pay to stream your favourite sports.
There goes our tax cut.
And our energy rebates. It's un-Australian.
Stand up for regional Australia. Stand up for a free sporting nation. Go to freeforeveryone.com.au.
Please keep sport free.
When the lucky country isn't so lucky. It's lucky you're with Amy.
Lucky you're with Amy.
Could I do the Lucky Deluxe Ultra Wash, please?
Add some thrill to your wait with the thrill of a $40 million jackpot every 3 minutes. Keno Go. Download the app now.
Hey mate, it's time to go home. I can't!
Don't get stuck in pain. Voltaren gel penetrates deep into the skin to reduce inflammation and relieve pain to get you moving sooner.
I'm back!
Voltaren, the joy of movement.
Anaconda's up to 50% off, bigger than ever a sale on now. Huge savings on snow gear, camping gear, four-wheel drive gear, bikes and more. Anaconda's up to 50% off, bigger than ever a sale on now. Play more and pay less this winter with our 10% price beat guarantee. Anaconda!
Australia is home to some of the world's most unique species. Australia also faces an extinction crisis. But there's hope. Aussiark. End your financial year knowing your finance made a difference to Australia.
In Compton, Western Victoria, you can see stars everywhere. Especially the ones that make our very own star. Western Star. More than butter.
The Mojo Homes mid-year sale is here with up to $85,000 in savings on your new home. More inclusions, more packages, more cash discounts and so much more. Visit your nearest display home to get much more with Mojo Homes.
Get 60 months interest-free at Harvey Norman. No deposit, no interest with 60 monthly repayments from Latitude Financial Services and receive a bonus gift card up to $1,000. That's a $100 gift card for every $1,000 you spend. Terms, fees, charges and exclusions apply. Harvey Norman clearance on now.
Go!
Disney on Ice is hitting the road and you're invited. Once the fun starts, it never stops. At Disney on Ice presents Road Trip Adventures, Newcastle Entertainment Centre from July 11th. Book now at Ticketek.
You're watching NBN News. These are our top local stories. The casino community is tonight mourning the loss of mother Sarah Miles, identified as the woman killed in yesterday's alleged domestic violence attack. Her partner, Dwayne John Crichton, who's been charged with murder, has made no application for bail. Residents of the Newcastle suburb of Minmi have rallied, calling on the state government to overturn planning approvals for a controversial housing development. Coffs Harbour City Council has put 2 jetty foreshore plans to locals, allowing them to decide on the site's future at September's local government election. Another protester has blocked coal operations in the Hunter, this time at Lochinvar, with a 40-year-old woman arrested. And Walker Quarry manager Michelle Knott has attended the Women in Industry Awards in Sydney with a goal to represent girls in mining. 2 thieves are $3,000 richer after a terrifying 30-second cash grab overnight. A 23-year-old Sydney petrol station worker threatened and held at knife point just after 4 a.m. The offender jumping the counter, taking the cash register before fleeing with his accomplice. Tonight, they're still on the run. Marking the end of World Refugee Month, a story of resilience and hope that's caught the attention of millions online. An emotional reunion between a mother and son who were separated by borders for more than 12 years.
Fleeing war-torn Afghanistan at the age of 7,
Asif Sultani arrived as a refugee in Australia at the age of 16. Since then, he has endured years of painful separation from his mother until this moment. Capturing the hearts of millions online, even Coldplay themselves. The Maitland local was on a temporary visa for more than a decade, which meant he was unable to travel overseas. But finally, after years of uncertainty, Asif was granted a permanent visa in January, paving the way for a brief family reunion.
My Aussie wife, Grace, she also came with me to meet my mom for the first time in person. Our reunion really healed my heart in so many ways, but it also broke it. Because at the end I had to say goodbye to my mom and leave her in a very unsafe situation.
Shortly after arriving in Australia, Asif's father passed away in Iran. He was unable to join his family to say goodbye.
I was 12 years late. But when I was saying goodbye to him on his grave, I promised him that I will do everything that I can to bring my mom to safety. And as a son, that promise has been weighing on me heavily.
Asif and his wife Grace are calling on the community to get behind their push to bring his mother to Australia.
We can't do it alone, and we need help. We need this message to reach the right people, and we need to get her here. We need to get her safe.
A spokesperson from the Department of Home Affairs says it's created pathways for people to sponsor family visa applications, but they must meet government requirements. Angie Davies, NBN News.
Crews have spent hours detangling a whale caught in a fishing net off the coast of Marlow in Victoria's Far East. The humpback was first spotted by a helicopter crew, specialists eventually catching up with the animal, cutting off 200 metres of rope and 11 buoys. It's believed the animal became entangled as far south as Antarctica. In just 6 weeks, the world's greatest marathon runners will be preparing for their chance of Olympic glory. Among them will be Queensland mum Genevieve Gregson, who suffered a horrific injury in Tokyo for one of the biggest comebacks in a generation.
From a frosty morning in Daisy Hill, south of Brisbane, to a hot summer's day at the Palace of Versailles, Genevieve Gregson has an enormous task ahead.
To stand on that start line is just going to be, a dream come true.
Paris will be her 4th Olympics, but her first as a marathon runner. Her last 3, she competed in steeplechase, including in Tokyo, where she suffered this very public and heartbreaking injury, rupturing her Achilles in the 3,000-metre final.
When you kind of sit at rock bottom and think, what's my options from here? There's really just 2 options, and one is quit and find something else to do, or the other option is, persist.
Genevieve went on to have a baby boy with her husband, 2-time Olympian Ryan Gregson, who's been with her every step of the way back.
I knew that she was always going to come back because I know it's possible. I just know how good she is at running.
The women's marathon is the final event of the Games. It will follow a historic 42-kilometre trail from Paris to Versailles and back to Invalides. It's not only the distance that'll be a challenge in the upcoming event, but also the hilly terrain that'll be as equally as gruelling.
It's going to be up and down for about 17k of it. So Daisy Hill Forest is the perfect place for me to be, to practice the uphills and the downhills and condition those legs to the beating of the ground.
She's also been training in a high-temperature chamber to prepare herself for the European summer. Her best record was in Spain last year, making it in under 2 hours and 23 minutes.
I don't feel like Paris will be the last goal that I tick off. I want to make more Olympic Games, and I think in the marathon it'll allow me to do that.
She's an athlete in it for the long haul. Josh Babbis, NBN News.
An extraordinary comeback. It's time for sport now with Adam Murray, and the Knights didn't give up against the Eels yesterday.
Yes, and the coach couldn't have been prouder. It was a rollercoaster win for Adam O'Brien's man, Bradman Best, putting the final touches on the side's first victory in a month. Also had the Panthers rest their origin stars and pay the price. And Ron Griffith shocks the NRLW, returning to coach a rival club.
Oh no.
Hey.
Hey!
Is that the McSmart meal from Macca's?
Yeah, 2 burgers, small fries and drink for $6.95.
Smart.
Want
Want makeup that actually improves your skin? Try Revlon Illuminant Serum Tint, only $19.47 at Chemist Warehouse. The skin-loving formula evens skin tone and visibly reduces dark spots in 4 to 8 weeks. Live, look, feel fabulous at Chemist Warehouse.
Vaping addiction can creep up on you. And before you know it, it can be hard to resist its pull. Vaping, are you really choosing anymore?
Give up for good. Find tools and support to quit.
Authorised by the Australian Government, Canberra.
The new resealable deli cuts range from Don. Seals in the freshness, flavour and taste of your delicious deli meats. Don, the irresistible family favourite, is Don. Is good.
Hi, I'm Nat from O'Brien.
I get asked all the time, should I worry about this chip? Yeah, you should.
Look, this crack started as a chip.
And this one too.
It happens a lot.
At O'Brien, we replace thousands of windscreens.
But a chip repair is faster, cheaper and greener.
We use our exclusive resin, cure it, nice polish, saving you the cost of a new windscreen. And with car insurance, your chip repair is usually free.
For over 100 years, O'Brien has been here for you.
So you know you're in expert hands.
Book today.
O'Brien. Alright, you've got this. Let's get this cot home.
If you need help wrangling your money, we're right there with you. NAB, more than money.
Oh yeah, that's the feeling. Progress. Momentum. Getting somewhere. That's what it feels like when you bank with Newcastle Permanent. With local experts and award-winning customer service. We're here for you, and we're here for good.
Lightning Ridge is the Black Opal's home, but the Lightning Ridge Bowling Club is where everyone calls home. Enjoy drinks in the lounge with a mate or two. We even have a bottle-o if you need a few. Enjoy the greens with your winning teams. New undercover sales so you're away from the steam. See Opal attractions every day. We have motels and caravan parks to make your stay. We think it's the perfect getaway. Enjoy the Lightning Ridge Bowling Club.
A rollercoaster win at home last night has restored hope in Knights fans that Newcastle can play finals this season. The 34-26 victory wasn't without controversy. The Eels left fuming over several calls. Newcastle on its feet, not once but twice for Bradman Betts.
There's an earthquake in Newcastle as Best runs 80 metres.
His last runaway try, sealing the Knights' first and only win in June.
It was a mad feeling, unreal. Second time I was struggling to get down there, but yeah, it was a good feeling.
When we needed it, he come up with some big plays too, so it's nice to have him in our side again.
An 80-minute arm wrestle, the Eels looked a lot better than a side sitting last on the ladder. Blaze Talungi and Mitchell Moses both scoring twice.
Moses again! This bloke's a superhero this week.
But Adam O'Brien's men stayed in the fight. A much-needed victory, keeping them within reach of the top 8.
We made those errors and then Paris scored, but we regrouped, we didn't drop our bundle. And then in the second half, we had back-to-back no tries. Then Paris score. We didn't drop our bundle, we fought our way back out of it and just seen some signs of growth there.
UK import Will Price repaid the faith, becoming the 3rd straight Knight to score on debut this season. Father Leon enjoyed every bit of it.
Sometimes when you lose in footy games and you can get feeling sorry for yourself, then you forget about moments like these that you should get to share. It's awesome.
The 8-point defeat, a tough one for Parramatta to stomach.
Couldn't really get any luck at all with some of our calls, you know. The bunker was involved in a lot of things tonight.
The Eels leaving Newcastle feeling dudded on more than one occasion.
He just said that, just unlucky. I was just asking what was the go there. I could have got there a step earlier and maybe made the tackle.
Throughout their premiership run, the Panthers have taken great pride in their ability to win without their big names. This afternoon, they slumped to their second loss during this year's State of Origin period. The Cowboys claiming a 16-6 victory to see them soar to 7th.
Sunday afternoon in Penrith, post-State of Origin. Most of the Panthers' star power on the sideline. Isaiah Yeo, the only player to back up when the match began.
And the kickoff is out on the fort by a mile.
The Panthers could have used some extra help.
Here's Kyle's 10th of the year.
The Cowboys racing out to an early 12-0.
They scrambled and defended really well. They're obviously down to 12 twice in that first half. They came up with some big stops. And then, we're just disappointed.
Sam Jordan, NBN News.
The Dragons have marched back into the top 8 for the first time since round 1. St George Illawarra overcoming a slow start and the absence of Origin star Zach Lomax to beat the Dolphins 26-6.
Shane Flanagan needed his troops to be singing from the same hymn sheet if the coach wanted to celebrate his milestone match in style.
It's great to get 200 up, but, in the bigger picture, I just want to win today.
Dreaming of a finals finish, the Dragons couldn't afford a slip-up. A frustrating first 40 fast forgotten as the Saints found form. Trailing 6-2 at half-time, the home side hit the front and never looked back, scoring 5 unanswered tries and showing desperation in defence.
What a try-saver from St George Illawarra.
That's the sort of team we want to be, that no matter what the scoreboard says, that we scramble and try and save tries, and that's a good example. I'll be showing that during the week, thank you.
A 20-point win lifting the Red V back into the top 8.
Yeah, we're heading in the right direction.
The Dolphins lost their way after losing hooker Jeremy Marshall-King. In a moon boot, he was consoled by super coach Wayne Bennett.
It's a foot problem, obviously, but we don't know exactly what's happened there.
Blue star Zach Lomax is set to return against the Roosters, who thrashed the Red V on Anzac Day.
It's already been mentioned in the sheds that, it's a bit of redemption. We need to be really good next week. It's a really good challenge for us.
Zach Bailey, NBN News.
It hasn't taken Ron Griffiths long to return to the NRLW, with the Warriors set to announce him as their head coach, part of the club's return to the competition in 2025. The two-time premiership winner with the Knights has agreed to a multi-year deal with the New Zealand-based outfit. Griffiths' decision comes as a shock, having stepped down from the Knights' role to mentor Newcastle's New South Wales Cup team this season. The Wallabies were back in Sydney for a junior rugby carnival alongside the Wallaroos this afternoon, but there was one big name missing. It's feared Kurtley Beale ruptured his Achilles playing in the Shute Shield yesterday. The 35-year-old's playing future now uncertain.
Someone I grew up watching and then eventually playing with, someone who I consider a pretty close mate, and it sucks. It sucks to see him right on the brink of being right back where he wants to be.
It's a doubleheader at Allianz Stadium on Saturday. The Wallaroos facing Fiji and the Wallabies taking on Wales. Giants coach Adam Kingsley says he won't be swinging the axe despite GWS falling out of the AFL's top 8. The Giants suffering their 6th loss in 8 games, a 94-78 defeat to Adelaide.
I'll stick with these guys. I have full trust in them. I have full faith that they'll turn it around.
GWS is back at home against second-place Carlton on Saturday. A tough weekend for the Giants Super Netball team, blowing a 10-goal lead to go down 68-55 to West Coast. The Giants remain last on the ladder, with the Swifts just one spot above them after a 61-60 loss to the Firebirds. India has defeated South Africa in a thrilling T20 World Cup final. Virat Kohli top scoring with 76 as India posted 176. The Proteas looked on track before collapsing late to fall 7 runs short. Kohli and Rohit Sharma both announcing their international T20 retirements after the match. The Euros round of 16 clash between Germany and Denmark in Dortmund was suspended for half an hour when a heavy storm rolled through. Water pouring through the grandstand roof, not that it seemed to bother these fans. Once the rain stopped, the home side progressed to the quarterfinals with a 2-0 win. Defending champions Italy were shocked losers, knocked out by Switzerland. After the break, is this year's Wimbledon Alex de Minaur's best chance yet of a maiden Grand Slam? And Max Verstappen fastest at the Red Bull Ring.
Hi, I'm Nat from O'Brien's. I get asked all the time, should I worry about this chip? Yeah, you should. Look, this crack started as a chip. And this one too. It happens a lot. At O'Brien, we replace thousands of windscreens, but a chip repair is faster, cheaper and greener. We use our exclusive resin, Cure It, nice polish, saving you the cost of a new windscreen. And with car insurance, your chip repair is usually free. For over 100 years, O'Brien has been here for you. So you know you're in expert hands. Book today.
O'Brien. You can't fake the craft that goes into Buller's award-winning products. But you can taste it. It's all about doing things the right way. Buller. Unfakeable.
Prime Day is coming, 16 to 21 July. With 6 days of epic deals exclusively for Prime members, you'll feel like a big deal. Prime Day, 16 to 21 July.
Could I do the Lucky Deluxe Ultra Wash, please?
Add some thrill to your weight with the thrill of a $40 million jackpot every 3 minutes. Keno Go. Download the app now.
At TAFE New South Wales, you can develop skills for life. Whether it's developing conservation skills, event skills, or hands-on skills, we've got hundreds of affordable courses to choose from. Enrol now for semester 2. Search TAFE New South Wales.
APT's Discover the World sale is here. Cruise Europe in 2025 aboard APT's brand new luxury river ships. Featuring luxuriously appointed suites, unprecedented dining choice with 6 unique world-class dining venues and an unrivaled level of service. APT's 15-day all-inclusive Europe River cruise starts from $7,995 per person, flights included. Search APT Luxury Travel or contact Hello World Travel.
It's all right. You've got this. Let's get this cot home.
If you need help wrangling your money, we're right there with you. NAB. More than money.
Oh, this stinks.
What? The game?
Nah, the sewer's clogged.
How?
Wet wipes and oil.
Makes a fat berg. What did you call me?
Ow.
Pipes can't handle this. Stats and wipes are meant to mix. Help keep the pipes free. What you put down your drain affects you and me.
Good thing you're covered by Budget Direct.
Yeah, the reviews are glowing.
Insurance solved with Budget Direct.
This report brought to you by Harvey Norman, proudly supporting Australian athletes from grassroots to the games.
A career best season has Alex de Minaur confident he can produce his best Grand Slam result when Wimbledon begins tomorrow. It won't be easy for the Demon, who's facing a difficult draw.
It was selfie time for Team Australia.
Done.
Oh, that was good. Our tennis team temporarily slipping into Olympic mode, but those uniforms were soon packed away, allowing the Aussies to again concentrate on their immediate challenge, Wimbledon. And the Demon is ready to give them hell.
I'm ready.
Having slid into the world's top 10 on the back of performances like a quarter-final appearance at the French Open and then a title in the Netherlands, Alex de Minaur comes to Wimbledon embracing the growing expectations from back home.
I'm definitely feeling all the support back home, and hopefully I'm here across the pond and we can feel some of that Aussie support here in London.
But not everything has gone to plan. There was that shock first-round loss at Queen's. It didn't just mean an early exit, it robbed him of a protected seeding at Wimbledon. As such, he now faces the prospect of a round of 16 encounter with defending champion Carlos Alcaraz or Italian young gun Yannick Sinner.
Seeds, at the end of the day, they don't mean too much. Last year I was seeded and I lost to an unseeded Berrettini, right?
And while the hopes of Australia rest largely on those slight shoulders of de Minaur, there's plenty of locals around here also claiming a piece of him, given that blossoming romance with the UK's top-ranked women's player, Katie Bolter. The pair has been dubbed the new Posh and Becks.
I think a nice little fairy tale story would be both of us going deep here.
The Alex and Katie show now has a spin-off, Alex and Katie 2.0, as in fellow Aussie Alex Bolt and his British-playing girlfriend, Katie Swan. A mixed double showdown between the couples would indeed be a promoter's dream.
Maybe Aussie Open one year. Maybe that'll be nice. Maybe we might have to rig the draw so we play each other in the first round.
Max Verstappen is dominating at Red Bull's home track in Austria, winning the sprint race and taking pole for tonight's Grand Prix. Oscar Piastri finished second in the sprint, but will start 7th in the main race after exceeding track limits in qualifying. The Hunters' Christian Mansell finished 4th in this afternoon's F3 feature race in Austria. He powered through the field after starting 11th on the grid. Last night he collected his 3rd podium in as many rounds, but was left unimpressed with himself, having given up victory. Just a few laps after taking the lead, the 19-year-old backed off earlier than he should have for a safety car, with 4 laps to go, dropping to 3rd place. The rain continues to disrupt the NPL season, with both of today's matches postponed. Last night, play got underway at Alder Park, but New Lambton were on the receiving end of another loss. Cooks Hill's Brock Beveridge scoring the only goal early in the match. The 1-0 win could have been 2 if Beveridge didn't miss this chance in the second half. Souths put on another big score in Newcastle Rugby League this weekend, defeating the Hawks 46-24 at Tomaree. This afternoon, the entrants proved too strong for Macquarie, 28 points to 16, and Central are cementing their spot in the top 6, convincing winners at home today against Curry Curry.
5th hosting 10th, it was always going to be a tough ask for Curry. Front rower Daniel Malmuth was target number 1. Former night Terence Siu taking down his much bigger opponent. Butcher Boys skipper Cameron Anderson was next to score, carrying several Bulldogs on his way to the line. He then used brother Kane to extend the lead even further. Curry unlucky not to be heading to half-time with a try of their own. 16-0 quickly became 22. Cameron Anderson racing away to score his second just minutes into the second half. The Bulldogs' first touch of the footy in the final 40 also led to points. Just as the Dogs began to wrestle back momentum, Lachlan O'Brien barged his way over from dummy half. There was still plenty of meat pies on offer at the canteen, but only one left on the field. Logan Radzovic scoring the home side's 6th and final try of the afternoon. The 34-4 win, Central's 4th in a row.
The Wildfires were put to the sword in round 12 of the Shute Shield, smashed 62-26 by the Two Blues in Western Sydney. The side's 3rd straight loss, more than likely ending any hope of playing finals this season. In local Hunter Rugby, a 13-man Hamilton held on at home to share the points with Merriweather, the final score 33-all. In other round 11 clashes, Wanderers and Maitland both scored wins. Cardiff held off Killarney Vale in round 12 of the Black Diamond Cup, winning 49-45. Max King was the difference, booting 4 majors in the nail-biting clash. At Warners Bay, the Bulldogs smashed the Saints 165-28, and the top-of-the-table clash at number 1 Sports Ground went to the visitors, Terrigal Avoca beating City 46-37. Thankfully, the rain held off yesterday, allowing netballers to get on court for round 10 of the season in Newcastle. 6-time defending champions West continue their charge, defeating Junction Stella 64-42. In other results, Waratah were too strong for B&C. Another title contender South smashed Katara South, and ladder leaders North remain undefeated. And the Mustangs men are back to their winning ways, defeating the Bears 112-93 in NBL 1. Will Prince and Lown was Maitland Maitland's best, scoring 21 in the 19-point victory. The women's side struggled in their clash against North, down to 82-55. In Newcastle, the Falcons' man put a poor first quarter behind them to defeat Hill 78-76. Captain Jaden Goodwin scoring the match winner with less than 30 seconds left on the clock. The women had a much more comfortable result, smashing the Hornets 91-61. And that's our look at sport.
Nice one. Thank you, Adam. We'll check Hunter weather next.
Travel Guide's first ever
5-star, 5-star, 5-star.
perfect holiday. Coming up next on 9 and 9 Now.
Australia just in front.
If you think your cost of living is tough, the Albanese government is about to make it tougher for regional Australia. They want you to pay to stream your favourite sports.
There goes our tax cuts.
And our energy rebate. It's un-Australian.
Stand up for regional Australia. Stand up for a free sporting nation. Go to freeforeveryone.com.au.
Please keep sport free.
Relieve a sore throat fast with Difflam.
Mom?
Difflam Plus lozenges provide fast numbing relief and targets the inflammation that causes throat pain for up to 3 hours. Get Difflam for a great price every day at Chemist Warehouse.
Breaker of light. I'm working. Work in another room.
Have a break. Have a Kit Kat. At Coles, we're on a mission to help inspire Aussie kids to eat better and to get active too. Isn't that right, Jeremy?
Sure is.
We're proudly sponsoring kids' sports programs like Coles Mini-Roos, Coles Little Athletics, and Coles Healthy Kids to get kids moving and to support local communities all over the country. Coles, proudly supporting kids' community sport.
At TAFE New South Wales, we aim to turn potential into not just skills, but skills. Whether you want to learn a new skill, upskill, or reskill, there are hundreds of affordable courses to choose from. Enroll now for semester 2.
Anaconda's up to 50% off, bigger than ever a sale on now. Huge savings on snow gear, camping gear, four-wheel drive gear, bikes and more. Anaconda's up to 50% off, bigger than ever a sale on now. Play more and pay less this winter with our 10% price beat guarantee. Anaconda!
Things are really heating up at Heating and Outdoors by Glendale Warehouse. See the huge range of wood heaters, gas heaters and gas log fires, plus friendly service and expert advice. Now at 2 locations, Glendale and Thornton.
Get the job done right every time with Taylor's Outdoor Power Equipment. Get the biggest brands and the best products from the experts, plus accessories, parts and service and repairs. So get into one of Taylor's 4 big locations or go online today.
Well, as predicted, yesterday's beautiful winter sunshine made way for rain and stormy skies today. A strong wind warning is also current for the Hunter Coast. At least we had one decent day over the weekend. Very chilly recently in Armidale on the northern tablelands. This shot from Tarina Vale, perfectly capturing a rural winter scene. Snow possible above 1,500 metres tomorrow for the Barrington Tops. Now that rain band and cold front stretching from the interior and across southern Queensland and northern New South Wales, bringing areas of rain, showers and isolated storms along with gusty winds. Tomorrow, strong south-southeasterly winds and heavy rain will persist along eastern New South Wales and Queensland. A strong cold front should cause some gusty showers in WA's southwest. High pressure will clear elsewhere with gusty, cool and dry southeasterly winds across the interior. Now that rain belt moved through this morning, cloudy, cool and wet with strong northwesterly winds which shifted south southwesterly, a top of just 16 for Nobby's, 15 today in Maitland. Tomorrow, partly cloudy with a high chance of showers along the coastal fringe, a medium chance elsewhere. Moderate south-southeasterly winds in the middle of the day, then becoming light in the late afternoon. Heading for 16 again for Nelson Bay and Newcastle, 15 for Muswellbrook, 5 to 15 for Scone. Coastal waters information for tomorrow: seas at 2 metres with a 3 metre swell, southerly winds up to 25 knots. Sunrise at 5 to 7, sunset just before 5 p.m, the morning low tide at 9:51 a.m. And our outlook for Newcastle: showers for much of the week ahead and cold. Tuesday and Wednesday cloudy with a very high chance of showers along the coast. Moderate south-southeasterly winds driving those showers up to 15 millimetres on Tuesday. For Scone, cold days ahead, only reaching the mid-teens. You can see some light showers for most days. And finally for Gosford, showers and 15 tomorrow. And that is the NBN News for this Sunday evening. Travel Guides is up next, followed by 60 Minutes. From all of the team here, thanks for your company. Enjoy your evening. Good night.
Get ready for the biggest show on earth.
Get behind the green and gold.
As the city of love becomes a city of dreams.
Let's go. Let's go.
Don't miss a moment. See you in Paris.
It's the greatest Olympic coverage ever seen.
You won't miss a thing. Cheering on the green and gold.
Nine delivers 2 dedicated Olympic channels. And on 9 now, stream over 40 live channels.
Watch Australia's best going for gold.
Catch all the action.
Live on 9 and 9 now.
What could your next 14-day holiday look like with TripADeal? Save $2,500 and experience Alaska and Canada discovery from $4,499 per person, including flights. Tour Canada's Rocky Mountains, picturesque Lake Louise, and more. Then explore Alaska's breathtaking Inside Passage with Celebrity Cruises. Plus, earn and use Qantas points on every booking. For bucket list experiences at unbelievable prices, head to tripadeal.com.au.
Australia just in front.
If you think your cost of living is tough, the Albanese government is about to make it tougher for regional Australia. They want you to pay to stream your favourite sports.
There goes our tax cut.
And our energy rebate. It's un-Australian.
Stand up for regional Australia. Stand up for a free sporting nation. Go to freeforeveryone.com.au.
Please keep sport free.
20 for $20 tenders and nuggets. Great shout.
Some people would rather crash than slow down.
It was a golden age for motorcycles. It took my breath away.
I built this club out of nothing. This is my family.
The club is changing.
What do you want me to do? This is war.
The Bike Riders. In cinemas Thursday.
Feed your skin the nutrients it needs with Sukin certified organic rosehip oil, $19.99 from Chemist Warehouse, with 70% essential fatty acids plus vitamins to deeply nourish, keeping skin looking and feeling good. Live, look, feel fabulous at Chemist Warehouse.
When the lucky country isn't so lucky, it's lucky you're with Amy.
Lucky you're with Amy.
Lightning Ridge is the Black Opal's home, but the Lightning Ridge Bowling Club is where everyone calls home. Enjoy drinks in the lounge with a mate or two. We even have a bottle-o if you need a few. Enjoy the greens with your winning teams. New undercover sales so you're away from the steam. See Opal attractions every day. We have motels and caravan parks to make your stay.
We think it's the perfect getaway. Enjoy the Lightning Ridge Bowling Club.
Experience Alaska and Canada discovery from $44.99 per person, including flights. Tour Canada's pristine wilderness and take a celebrity cruise through Alaska's breathtaking Inside Passage. Head to tripadeal.com.au.
The young Aussie forced into a fatal marriage.
She was murdered by a monster, and now her mother faces jail time.
Tonight.
This program brought to you by Tripadeal. For bucket list experiences at unbelievable prices, head to tripadeal.com.au.
How to beat the giant killers of aging.
Can we end disease?
The episode we all must see. Monday. Our Aussies are ready to light up the green cry of Wimbledon. Starts Monday on 9 and Stan Sport.
Oh. Hey, is that the McSmart meal from Macca's?
Yeah. 2 burgers, small fries and drink for $6.95.
Smart.
When the lucky country isn't so lucky. It's lucky you're with Amy.
Lucky you're with Amy.
Can I do the Lucky Deluxe Ultra Wash, please?
Add some thrill to your wait with the thrill of a $40 million jackpot every 3 minutes. Keno Go. Download the app now.
As we get older, it's vital we keep eating well to live well. That's why Light and Easy introduced My Choice, a delicious range of smaller, protein-packed dinners, soups and desserts. And they're developed specifically to meet the nutritional needs of older Australians. And if you're on a home care package, your funding could cover 70% of the cost.
Because it's subsidised by the home care package, that makes it very economical for us.
Call Light and Easy today on 13 15 12.
Twisters. Sure, quitting is hard. But the alternative, that's harder. Every time you choose not to smoke, you improve your health. Choose your heart.
Give up for good. Find tools and support to quit.
Authorised by the Australian Government, Canberra.
The Total Tools Tax Time Flash Sale is on now for a limited time. Get up to $1,000 of bonus points to spend on more tools across the store. That's up to 20% more to spend on power tools, nail guns, welders, and more. Hurry! Ends June 30. Total Tools. Totally sorted.
Super Snow Heroes assemble. It's snow time at Hunter Valley Gardens. An epic ice world packed full of frosty fun for all the family. Giant ice toboggans, mega snow play zones, awesome ice skating rinks, with amazing rides and live entertainment. Calling all Super Snow Heroes. Tickets for snow time on sale now at hvg.com.au.
The new Isuzu D-Max X-Terrain with refreshed styling and updated tech. You get the best of both worlds wherever you go. Life is reinvigorated with the new Isuzu D-Max X-Terrain.
I'm Nat from O'Brien. These cracks all started as chips. Happens a lot. We replace thousands of windscreens, but a chip repair is faster, cheaper and greener. And with car insurance, your repair is usually free. Book today.
O'Brien.
Well, girls and boys, it's been another very exciting day for our friend Big Dog. Lots of adventure and fun for everyone. But now it's time for Big Dog to say goodnight. Good night, Big Dog. Good night, girls and boys. Sweet dreams.
gear. I'm taking this in a whole new direction. Here we go. Live, baby. Come on a journey across the sea.
Where are we, Scotty?
Paradise. To a land like no other.
Welcome to Block Island.
It's an adventure 20 years in the making.
Ooh la la.
For the first time, the block is pure paradise.
Sun, sand, soul.
5 new couples, completely out of their depth, transforming an entire Aussie island resort.
This thing's a bomb site.
Oh my
A
goodness.
slice of heaven right at your front door. Mate, how'd you get here?
I built a raft. I've got a plane.
Yeah!
20 blocktacular years, and what a way to celebrate.
Put a shirt on, Tassa. It's not Love Island.
Wow, the Aussie dream. It's a lot. Goes tropical.
It's a hell of a lot.
Leave the rat race
And
behind.
escape to Block Island.
Australia set sail for Block Island.
After the Olympics on 9 and 9 now.
That's 4 nights a week of must-see Aussie gold.
Too right, mate.
Oh no.
Hey, is that the McSmart meal from Macca's?
Yeah, 2 burgers, small fries and drink for $6.95.
Smart.
Rich and creamy, topped with velvety froth. Whatever you're up to, now's good for a deliciously creamy and frothy Nescafe cappuccino. Nescafe. Make your world.
He made news headlines in 2018, saving lives. Now, Dr. Richard Harris takes you on a journey to his world beneath South Australia's limestone coast. The beauty, the adventure, my underwater world. Saturday, 3:30. APT's Discover the World sale is here. Enjoy a 15-day Europe River cruise on our brand new luxury ships. From $7,995 per person, flights included. Search APT Luxury Travel or contact Hello World Travel.
Disney on Ice is hitting the road and you're invited. Once the fun starts, it never stops. At Disney on Ice presents Road Trip Adventures, Newcastle Entertainment Centre from July 11th. Book now at Ticketek.
We're committed to a sustainable future for Newcastle.
I want to connect with a future that uses my battery research to improve local renewable energy.
I'm working towards a future that helps our business achieve more by wasting less.
And I'm planting trees for our environment and to fix climate change.
Our Newcastle Environment Strategy is a plan that includes everyone, because the future is us.
Toyota makes electrified vehicles for all sorts of people. For country people like her, and city people like him. We make them for people with little people. People with not so little people. And people with people who aren't actually people at all. With hybrid hydrogen and battery electric vehicles, Toyota's not leaving anyone behind. Because together, every step matters. Toyota.
This program brought to you by Tripadeal. For bucket list experiences at unbelievable prices, head to tripadeal.com.au. This Olympics news break brought to you by Toyota, Australian Olympic and Paralympic team partner.
Good evening, James Bracey with an Olympics update. With less than a month to go, the Prime Minister's Olympic dinner has helped mark the occasion. Sports icons celebrated and the team song revealed, developed by Olympians themselves and sung by Jess Mauboy.
We'll take it higher and higher, always beside you. Show me you're a fighter.
The Aussie cycling team has been unveiled for the velodrome and the road. Mac Laitzer is off to his 4th games and is one of 19 heading to France, 9 of the squad on debut. Another debutant golfer, Jason Day, has admitted he regrets turning down the chance to represent Australia at the Rio Games in 2016 and is determined to make up for the mishap when he joins Min Woo and Minjee Lee, plus Hannah Green. Just 26 days until the opening ceremony, and Nine's Wide World of Sports is your home of the Olympic Games in Paris. Good night.
Toyota makes electrified vehicles for all sorts of people. For country people like her, and city people like him. We make them for people with little people. People with not so little people. And people with people who aren't actually people at all. With hybrid hydrogen and battery electric vehicles, Toyota's not leaving anyone behind. Because together, every step matters.
What a feeling.
Toyota.
Your cat's immune system is one of her natural protective systems. Help strengthen it with Purina One with Immune Defense Plus, a specialty blend that helps support her immune health to help her lead a healthy life. Purina One with Immune Defense Plus.
In lands where trucks and utes roam free, it's rail crossing safety for you and me. Trains, they're fast, hard to spot, bloomin' heavy. Almost 1,000 near misses a year. That's too many. It's no magic potion. Crossing safely is poetry in motion. So a plea to drivers on sunburnt plains. Slow down, look, and listen for trains.
Authorised by the Australian Government, Canberra.
Trailblazers, wildcards, middle aisle maestros. No one dictates their dinner. Armed with nothing more than a trolley token, marching to the beat of their own wallets. They've got groceries in the bag. They're Aldi to the core. Aldi, good different.
Alright, you've got this. Let's get this cot home.
If you need help wrangling your money, we're right there with you. More than money.
Tipping Point Australia is going for gold.
6 Aussie Olympic gold medalists fight it out in the most competitive Grand for Cash ever.
Oh my God!
In a prime-time showdown, who will strike gold and who will be tipped over the edge?
7:30 Tuesday.
That's a Tipping Point record. Tipping Point Australia's Olympic Games special.
Tuesday, 7:30 on 9.
This program brought to you by Tripadeal. For bucket list experiences at unbelievable prices, head to tripadeal.com.au. This news break brought to you by Harvey Norman, proudly supporting Australian athletes from grassroots to the Games.
Good evening. 3 people have been killed and dozens more injured after a bus collided with a 4-wheel drive on a Queensland highway. Tax relief is on the way with thousands of Australians to receive cuts from tomorrow. Seatbelt detection cameras will be switched on across the state tomorrow, with both drivers and passengers at risk of hefty penalties. Craft brewers have called on the government for a lifeline, fearing the rising cost of beer could cause the industry to collapse. And a humpback whale has been freed off the coast of Gippsland. The week-long rescue helping detangle the mammal from metres of marine rope. Stay with us, more news soon.
Greg Lynn, convicted killer. What the jury wasn't told.
His first wife was living in terror.
Next.
What could your next 17-day holiday look like with Tripadeal? Experience 2-for-1 Italy, Greece and Croatia from $10,599 for 2 people, including flights. Discover the iconic cities of Italy, then cruise the glittering coastlines of Greece, the breathtaking beaches of Croatia and more. Plus, earn and use Qantas points on every booking. For bucket list experiences at unbelievable prices, head to tripadeal.com.au.
Oh. Hey, is that the McSmart meal from Macca's?
Yeah. 2 burgers, small fries and drink for $6.95.
Smart.
There'll be lunches from Cape York to Broome and on warm afternoons near Mudgee. Because Tip Top bakes every day with Australian wheat.
Emerald Cruises brings you a new era of luxury yacht cruising in the Mediterranean. Early bird offers out now. Cruise from just $6,745 per person. Contact your travel advisor or visit emeraldcruises.com.au.
As we get older, it's vital we keep eating well to live well. That's why Light and Easy introduced My Choice, a delicious range of smaller, protein-packed dinners, soups and desserts. And they're developed specifically to meet the nutritional needs of older Australians. And if you're on a home care package, your funding could cover 70% of the cost.
Because it's subsidised by the home care package, that makes it very economical for us.
Call Light and Easy today on 13 15 12.
Alright, you've got this. Let's get this cot home.
If you need help wrangling your money, we're right there with you. NAB, more than money.
The King Living Winter Sale is on now. Save up to 50% on Australian-designed, award-winning furniture. So why buy ordinary furniture when you can come home to King? Hurry, sale on now.
Experience 2-for-1 Italy, Greece and Croatia from $10,599 for 2 people, including flights. Discover iconic Italy, cruise vibrant Greece, dazzling Croatia and more. Head to tripadeal.com.au.
The ex-con who moved into a pensioner's paradise and trashed the place. A current affair Monday.
This program brought to you by Tripadeal. For bucket list experiences at unbelievable prices, head to tripadeal.com.au.
Good evening and welcome to 60 Minutes. I'm Sarah Arbo. Russell Hill and Carol Clay didn't deserve to die. 4 years ago, on a camping adventure in Victoria's remote high country, they had a chance encounter with Greg Lynn. Only he now knows the precise details of what happened, that there was a dispute that turned violent. The couple, both in their 70s, was killed. Last Tuesday, in an unusual verdict, a jury found Lynn guilty of murdering Carol, though not guilty of murdering Russell. But the conviction of the former Jetstar pilot doesn't mean its case closed just yet. Tonight, we reveal secrets of Greg Lynn's past that authorities need to investigate further.
Coming up, it shows Abby, I don't want to do this no more. I don't want to get married.
No love, no choice.
Something's not right here.
This illegal forced marriage
is an insidious crime.
Robbed a young woman of her freedom.
Their loveless marriage exploded in violence.
And her life. She had to face the impossible choice of her family or the man she didn't want to marry.
Yes.
That's next on 60 Minutes.
The end of disease. It's what medicine has been looking for, isn't it?
On the most powerful Monday,
I don't want my kids to be taken.
4 Aussie couples face their biggest test.
We did find something on Luke's scans.
Discover how to beat
What do people do to get that right?
the giant killers of aging.
Can we end disease?
Do you want to live forever? Monday, 7:30.
When she has a cold, you just want her to feel herself again. You enjoy the show. We'll do the cold and flu, pain and fever relief for up to 8 hours. Nurofen, leave the pain and fever to us.
I'm Nat from O'Brien. These cracks all started as chip. The chip repair is faster, cheaper and greener. And with car insurance, your repair is usually free. Book today.
O'Brien.
We got the storm of a century out there.
Back up, back up, back up!
I could use your help.
They're combining.
Twisters.
Advance. It's a word shaping our future way of life.
And coal, metals and minerals like those mined by Glencore help to make it possible.
Nickel and cobalt for delivery drones.
Help advance a future that makes deliveries faster, everywhere.
Cobalt and nickel for electric cars.
Help change the future of how we drive.
Is this on?
Yeah, Dad, it's on. At Glencore,
We're advancing everyday life.
Meet my boyfriend, Jake.
What's up, everyone?
What is all over your feet?
They're flowers. I study botany.
Resting dad face back there likes plants too.
Grab some pruners. Let's prune.
You won't believe who just went electric.
Well, they said it would never happen, but today, Barry has gone electric.
We just believed, just like Barry.
Barry, what made you finally go electric?
Because it's a Toyota.
The all-new, all-electric Toyota BZ4X. Charge on. Toyota.
Arnott's. There is no substitute for a healthy lunch.
When the lucky country isn't so lucky, it's lucky you're with Amy.
Lucky you're with Amy.
He made news headlines in 2018, saving lives. Now, Dr. Richard Harris takes you on a journey to his world beneath South Australia's limestone coast. The beauty, the adventure. My Underwater World, Saturday 3:30.
Disney on Ice is hitting the road and you're invited. Once the fun starts, it never stops. At Disney on Ice presents Road Trip Adventures, Newcastle Entertainment Centre from July 11th. Book now at Ticketek.
Despicable Me 4 has landed at Macca's.
Hey, Minions! My Minions?
Try our banana desserts range for despicable grown-ups and a Happy Meal for your little minions. Despicable Me 4, only in cinemas.
Rukia Hadari lived with a conflict she couldn't resolve. She was torn between two worlds. On one hand, there were the strict but important customs of her Afghan heritage. On the other, the freedoms that life in Australia promised. Her friends said the 20-year-old longed to be a modern woman, but at home, she couldn't bring herself to disappoint her mother. Sakina Jan had an entirely different plan for her daughter's future. She told Rukia she was to marry a man she barely knew. Love didn't factor into the equation. It was a forced marriage. It was illegal, and it ended disastrously. Like most young women, Rukia had big plans for her future. And according to her friend Abby Gorn, she felt anything was possible, having fled war-torn Afghanistan with her family years earlier.
Her hopes and dreams were to just be happy and be free. It did.
Tragically, this story doesn't end well. Just 6 weeks after this video was taken, Rukia was dead, murdered by the monster she'd exchanged rings with. But husband Muhammad Ali Halimi isn't the only villain. In the eyes of the law, Rukia's mother, Sakina Jan, is also a criminal, after becoming the first person in Australia to be convicted of causing a person to enter a forced marriage. What has this done to your family?
Well, a lot of stress, a lot of pressure.
A lot of heartache?
Heartaches, you know, it's playing their heart, you know, to be honest. It's playing their heart.
Like his sister, Taki Hadari thought coming to Australia would be the start of a new life. Instead, his family has been broken by tragedy.
I'm trying to focus on the work. I'm trying to focus, you know, on my job, but I just can't stop thinking about it.
When the family arrived in Australia, they called Shepparton in northern Victoria home. It's a world away from Afghanistan, but Rukia settled in easily. Life was good, until near the end of her final year at school, when she was told she was about to become a bride. it wasn't what Rukia wanted. Abby Gawn instantly felt her friend's grief.
She used to come to school and just not be herself. And then that's when I kind of knew, nah, something's not right here. Like, we were just smiling and having a laugh yesterday, and now you're down in the dumps. I said, what is wrong? And she goes, Abby, I don't want to do this no more. I said, do what? Like, what do you want to do? She goes, Abby, I don't want to get married.
Rukia had only met 25-year-old Muhammad Ali Halimi a few times. He was an Uber driver and factory worker from Perth who'd been introduced to the family by a member of Shepparton's Afghan community.
What did she actually say about the marriage? Didn't feel comfortable doing it. She wasn't ready. She wasn't happy. Like, that's the voice I hear in my head every day. Abby, I don't want to do it.
We now know Rukia also spoke to other friends and teachers at school about her impending wedding, and that they were so concerned they contacted the Australian Federal Police. In August 2019, 2 officers spent nearly 4 hours speaking with Rukia about her situation and offered her a range of support. In their minds, there was no doubt she was at risk of being a victim of forced marriage, a complex and underreported crime.
There are grave risks associated with forced marriage, and the consequences can be terrible.
Would you call this a bit of a hidden issue in Australia, forced marriage?
I think it's definitely a crime that a lot of Australians might think doesn't exist here.
As Commander of Human Exploitation at the Australian Federal Police, Helen Schneider has a tough job. It's especially so when dealing with cases of forced marriage. Most Australians are not aware of it, or if they are, get it confused with the much more common practice of arranged marriage.
What is the difference between a forced marriage and an arranged marriage?
Well, by law here in Australia, we define a forced marriage as someone who's married someone without their full or free consent. And that's because either threats, coercion or deception is involved, or because they're not able to understand the full nature and effect of that marriage ceremony.
In Australia, in the past 10 years, there have been more than 500 reports of forced marriage, 90 in the past year alone. But the AFP faces enormous difficulties in investigating it, largely because of the reluctance of victims to implicate their families in wrongdoing.
What we find in this crime type, unfortunately, is the majority of our victims are young women and young girls, and that the majority of the perpetrators in these instances are people that are known to them or related to them, such as parents, relatives or community members. So that can actually make them quite unwilling, these victims, to enter into an investigation process.
Rukia Hadari faced an impossible choice. If she got help from the AFP, she knew she'd be betraying her mother. It was a situation made more complicated because, as her brother recalls, there were no concerns about the groom.
What were your impressions of this man?
The way he was behaving, the way he was talking. He was the way his personality was, I thought he was a good man.
So good, in fact, Taki was untroubled when, the day after the wedding, Rukia moved to Perth with her new husband. But it's now clear his sister was deeply worried. As she left Shepparton, she sent this Snapchat video to her friends. Went on, there was little communication with those back home.
At what point did you realise there may be problems with the marriage?
When she said, try not to contact me again. And I felt worried about it so much, and I was always thinking about her, like, what's going on, what's the matter?
The first weeks of any marriage should be a picture of domestic bliss. But for Rukia, it was not the beginning of happily ever after. Her new husband quickly turned, extraordinarily recording this video highlighting the supposed failures of his bride. He complained Rukia wasn't cooking or cleaning for him, and to humiliate his wife even more, he sent the vision to her family back in Shepparton.
I was so worried and very nervous, like, and stressed, like what's going on, what's actually happening.
Increasingly anxious, Taki tried calling his sister, but she didn't answer, so he phoned Halimi instead. What happened next has haunted him ever since.
The only thing he said was like, it's none of your business, it's my life, you mind your own business. And then he got mad at me and he started swearing, yelling, yes, and then he started swearing at her. I was so worried, I freaked out. And after 10 minutes, I had a call from Halimi. He says, come and get your sister's dead body, I'm going to the police station. And he hung up.
With her brother on the other end of the phone, thousands of kilometres away, Rukia Hadari lay bleeding to death on the kitchen floor of her new home. But there was never any doubt about who was responsible. After slitting his young wife's throat, Halimi drove himself to a police station.
A young woman robbed of her freedom and then her life.
Halimi told the police that he snapped after a long period of rejection, emotional heartache and confusion. He said when he asked Rukia why she'd married him, she said her parents had pushed her. But that's not how Taki remembers it.
Did Rukia at any point tell you or anyone else in your family that she didn't want to marry Mohammed Halimi?
At any point, no.
The AFP, though, saw it differently. While Halimi was convicted of murder and jailed for at least 19 years, he wasn't the person detectives were focused on. As you'll see, their target was someone much closer to Rukia.
This Sport Report brought to you by Harvey Norman, proudly supporting Australian athletes from grassroots to the games.
Good evening, Adam Murray with the Sport Update. The Knights have ended a 3-match winless streak with a rollercoaster win at home against the Eels. Bradman Best and Greg Marju both scored twice in the 34-26 victory. Two-time NRLW Premiership winning coach Ron Griffiths is set to sign a deal to coach the Warriors in 2025 and beyond. And a career best season has Alex de Minaur confident he can produce his best Grand Slam result when Wimbledon begins tomorrow.
For the ultimate performance on the toughest stains, like mud, sweat and sauce, Omo Ultimate's 3-in-1 capsules attack ultra-tough stains with built-in pre-treaters. So wash off whatever is holding you back and play on with Omo Ultimate.
Anaconda's up to 50% off bigger than ever a sale on now. Huge savings on snow gear, camping gear, four-wheel drive gear, bikes and more. Anaconda's up to 50% off bigger than ever a sale on now. Play more and pay less this winter with our 10% price beat guarantee. Anaconda!
Painful sore throat ruining your day? Turn it around with Strepsils. Strepsils Extra helps kill bacteria and numbs pain fast. For effective relief, try Strepsils.
Brushing and flossing removes germs and plaque temporarily. Listerine destroys them. It beats plaque with 5 times more cleaning power than brushing and flossing alone. Complete the clean with Listerine.
With impact.
Vaping addiction can creep up on you. And before you know it, it can be hard to resist its pull. Vaping, are you really choosing anymore?
Give up for good. Find tools to support and quit.
Things the right way. Buller. Unfakeable.
Oh, did you buy that kayak?
I did buy this kayak with the $642 extra that H&R Block got me.
This tax time, don't do it all yourself. Switch to H&R Block, and you could get more for sure.
Things are really heating up at Heating and Outdoors by Glendale Warehouse. See the huge range of wood heaters, gas heaters and gas log fires. Plus friendly service and expert advice. Now at 2 locations, Glendale and Thornton.
Let's go. So close, Rose. You got to keep at it. Keep at it. You nearly got it.
Got to keep at it, Dad.
You just got to keep at quitting the smokes. Then one day, you'll give up for good.
Proud of you, Dad.
Talk with your health worker, call the quit line or go online. And let's keep it quitting. Authorised by the Australian Government, Canberra.
Young, beautiful and sitting next to her new husband. This should have been the beginning of a fairy tale for Ruqayyah Haidari. But to watch her wedding video is to watch a crime unfold. Because this was a marriage she was forced into. And 6 weeks later, she was dead. Her throat slashed by her new husband, a man she barely knew.
Look, it's a really heartbreaking outcome, that particular matter, and clearly we know that, there are grave risks associated with forced marriage.
The person responsible for forcing Ruqayyah into the marriage was her own mother, Sakina Muhammad Jan. Last month, after a 2-week trial in Victoria's County Court, she became the first person in Australia to be convicted of the crime. Australian Federal Police Commander Helen Schneider now leads the team who investigated the case.
It's important to send deterrence messaging through court processes.
What is the main aim of the AFP? Is it prevention? Is it intervention? Is it prosecution?
The AFP really sees prevention, disruption, investigation as equally successful strategies, but these must be managed in parallel with the support and protection of victims, whatever pathway we take there, whatever our area.
It's a delicate balance for officers, because while the law is black and white, the circumstances surrounding a forced marriage rarely are.
And I think with that case, the very thing that she didn't want, which was her mother experiencing, the criminal justice system, is the very thing that has happened.
It's an unusual area of expertise, but Dr. Laura Vidal has dedicated her career to preventing forced marriage. A lecturer and researcher at the University of Canberra, she spent more than a decade talking to victims about their experiences.
This really is a tragedy, isn't it? I mean, we're talking about a young woman who's been murdered by a monster and whose mother now faces jail time.
And we have to think really critically about what it means for this conviction to be considered a success in the realm of preventing or addressing forced marriage.
What concerns Dr. Vidal is the chance that the conviction of Ruqayyah's mother could in fact do more to isolate victims.
The most common thing that is said to me is, I don't want anybody to get in trouble, I just don't want to get married. And so the likelihood that this kind of conviction is going to mean that people are even more reticent to come forward and are more hesitant to seek support, because what they see is seeking support leads to these kinds of outcomes.
So you see this conviction as a potential deterrent to future victims? That it is a legitimate concern?
It's a concern that anyone has in any situation where a loved one might be prosecuted. But equally, we're concerned here to prevent forced marriage. We're concerned here to provide safe pathways for people who wish to report it.
Attorney General Mark Dreyfus criminalised forced marriage in 2013. But this year, he made several changes to the way victims can seek support.
An alternative referral pathway, so that instead of going to the Australian Federal Police, people who wish to report that they think someone is in a forced marriage situation or a victim of a forced marriage will be able to go to that alternative rather than going only to the police.
He's so concerned about the issue, he's committed $50 million to addressing it.
We don't want to see anyone coerced or tricked or forced in any way into a marriage that they are not consenting to freely and willingly.
In many ways, Ruqayyah Haidari's voice has been the loudest in her death. It's little comfort for those who knew her, but the hope is her story encourages other victims to seek help.
I have no doubt it is challenging for people to come forward to law enforcement. It might be embarrassing. They might not want to get anyone in trouble that they know. I understand all of that. I know how hard it is for them to come forward, but I guess all I can do is really just assure them that there is, so many avenues available to how we can help them, and we are going to be listening to what they need.
If this story has raised issues and you need to speak with someone, help is available. Call 1-800-RESPECT, which is 1-800-737-732. Coming up...
She gave me a whole new purpose, to be a dad.
Australian parents caught up.
How that is in the best interest of children, I'm not too sure.
In a Japanese nightmare.
Such a irrational rule.
Will they ever be allowed...
The worst experience of my life.
...to see their kids again?
It's extremely frustrating.
That's next on 60 Minutes.
5 counters for the chance to win $40,000. $40,000. I'm going to do one last thing here.
What?
Tipping Point. Monday at 5 on 9.
Toyota makes electrified vehicles for all sorts of people. For country people like her, and city people like him. We make them for people with little people. People with not so little people. And people with people who aren't actually people at all. With hybrid hydrogen and battery electric vehicles, Toyota's not leaving anyone behind. Because together, every step matters. Toyota.
Whatever you're up to, now's good for a deliciously creamy and frothy Nescafe cappuccino. Nescafe, make your world. And this is our lounge room.
Now, I'd like you to take extra special care of this very precious lady here.
Of course.
Like my car, Tyrone Auto. We are talking about 12 months free roadside assistance with every logbook service on almost any car. Kind of care.
So the games room's over here. Welcome. How are you today?
Maybe we move you in here, Mum.
Get the care you deserve at My Car Tyrone Auto. People first.
A cancel all plans cold. Or a camera off kind of cold. However you cold and flu, Lemsip it. New Lemsip dry cough liquid. Available now.
The King Steel frame lets you arrange and rearrange to suit your lifestyle. So why buy ordinary furniture when you can come home to King? Hurry, sail on now.
The Mojo Homes mid-year sale is here with up to $85,000 in savings on your new home. More inclusions, more packages, more cash discounts, and so much more. Visit your nearest display home to get much more with Mojo Homes.
Toyota makes electrified vehicles for all sorts of people. For country people like her, and city people like him. We make them for people with little people. People with not so little people. And people with people who aren't actually people at all. With hybrid hydrogen and battery electric vehicles, Toyota's not leaving anyone behind. Because together, every step matters. Toyota.
The Ex-Con. who moved into a pensioner's paradise and trashed the place.
You're walking and a rat might jump on you.
His elderly neighbours living in fear.
It's not right for them to be living in a dump like that.
A current affair Monday.
There are many wonderful things about Japan, but the way the country deals with child custody disputes is not one of them. The Japanese have a bizarre law that allows a disgruntled parent who separates from their spouse to literally abduct their children and run away. In those circumstances, it makes kidnapping legal. Worryingly, an increasing number of Australians whose relationships with their Japanese partners have ended have found themselves permanently cut off from their kids. It's a heartbreaking situation, but as the Sydney Morning Herald and The Age's Eric Bagshaw reports, there might finally be some hope for change. And it's in no small way thanks to Canberra.
Yui just made everybody's world a better place to be in. She gave me a whole new purpose of what it means to be a man, to be an adult. And now to be a dad. It's Yui-chan and Daddy.
It's been 14 months since Dan White held his daughter Yui in his arms. She's in Japan, thousands of kilometres away from her Queensland home. But she's always on his mind.
As more time goes on, I know less about who she is. I don't know what she's into, I don't know what she likes, what she don't like.
Yui is one of 89 Australian children cut off from a parent because of Japan's cruel sole custody laws. The country has a bizarre system where divorced couples can't co-parent. Instead, whoever was last living with the kids gets to keep them, and the power to block the other parent's access. The most troubling thing is it allows parents to kidnap their children and get away with it. How do you think Japan treats children?
Like furniture.
Dan had no idea these would be the last photos he'd ever take with his daughter. She was born in Australia, and Dan thought he and his Japanese partner's happy life here would last forever. But everything changed when they took Yui to Japan to meet her grandparents. He came home to Queensland 2 weeks early to return to work. But his daughter and her mum never did.
I'd called her to check when she was coming back, and she just simply said, I'm not coming back. And at that point, I broke down. It was the worst experience of my life.
Dan is now part of a club he wishes didn't exist.
Oh, it's distressing every day.
Over in Japan, there's a growing group of Australian parents whose kids have been abducted by their ex-partners.
It's extremely...
They, along with hundreds of other foreign parents, have spent years calling for new laws to allow joint custody. 9 foreign governments led by Australia have lobbied on their behalf. And finally, an extraordinary sign that Japan has listened. Last month, the Parliament made a monumental decision, voting to give divorced couples the option to co-parent.
Both parents can appropriately take custody for their children for the first time in Japan.
It's been a long and lonely fight for Masahiko Shibayama. He's been a member of Japan's government for more than 20 years. But until recently, he was the only one who wanted to change the outdated sole custody system.
Fighting against such a traditional, irrational Japanese rule was very, very hard.
How did you feel when the law passed?
I was tremendously satisfied.
The new law will come into effect in 2026. It sounds promising, but unfortunately, there's a catch. Shared custody will only be possible when both parents agree to it. So in many cases, it won't make any difference.
It's one step forward for Japan, but it's one step forward for a country that's many steps behind.
Why do you think the Japanese government changed these laws?
I think there was a lot of international pressure. I think Japan believed that they had to do something to relieve that pressure. And as a result of that, they did the bare minimum.
That's a bit rough.
It's a huge concern, shared by Randy Kavanagh.
First word she spoke was daddy.
His daughter Anna was taken by her mum in 2018. He considered himself lucky to be granted visitation rights by the Japanese courts. But the problem is, they've never been enforced, so he still can't see his little girl.
I will have to apply again in 2 years when these new laws come into effect. How that is in the best interest of children, I'm not too sure.
So you think that delay risks more children potentially becoming victims of child abduction?
It seems as though it's the last dash to the finish line to abduct your child before the law comes into effect.
Despite his reservations, Randy believes the new law is better than nothing. And Australia's Foreign Minister, Penny Wong, agrees.
Well, it's heartbreaking, isn't it? And I think a parent's heartbreak is always cuts deep. You always think about how you would feel in that situation, so I'm sure.
This is the first time the Foreign Minister has given an interview about this issue. For years, she led a strategy of quiet diplomacy, refusing to publicly take a stand against Japan's old-fashioned laws. Is that because you're afraid of offending them as a close military and diplomatic ally?
Look, obviously, when you're a person in this role, there are some things you might achieve through having an interview with Eric Bagshaw, and there might be other things you achieve by raising things in a direct but careful way.
It's an approach the Minister insists is finally starting to pay off. She says the Australian government worked incredibly hard behind the scenes to encourage and then help Japan to update its archaic system.
I've raised it with 2 foreign ministers that I've engaged with over time. We had the Attorney General raise it with the Minister of Justice. We had the Ambassador raise it at many levels. And we also had a judge from the Family Court of Australia who engaged with the Japanese system overall.
The Japanese government is pleased it's achieved some progress. But even they accept this isn't the end of the story. Masahiko Shibayama says it will take years to shift social views and test whether the changes go far enough to stop parents abducting their kids.
The new law does not ban the abduction directly, but abduction is, of course, against the main idea of this revised law.
You're saying it's just against the spirit of the legislation. Can parents really trust that's going to make a difference?
I want to say the suffered parents to continue to have hope.
Uh-oh. Oh, wait there. What's this one?
Back in Queensland, Dan White has already had a small win.
What's this? Yu-chan, what's
After
this?
relentless requests, his ex-partner has agreed to give him one 10-minute video call with Yui each week. It doesn't sound like much, but at least it gives Dan some comfort to see his daughter still knows who he is.
They're the best 10 minutes of the week. I spend most of my week planning around that 10 minutes. What am I going to do? How am I going to teach her a bit of English? How am I going to keep her attention?
Uh-oh, where's Yu-chan gone? Hello, where's Yu-chan? Hey Yu-chan, you Mickey Mouse t-shirt.
My goal is to actually be able to go to Japan and take her to Disneyland. Take her there and, you know, spoil her and take her on the rides and, yeah, I want us to do that together.
Have you got any hope of doing that?
I've got faith, but ultimately the change won't be enough until I have my daughter back in my arms.
Coming up, phenomenal at 14.
Never give up and keep skating and living my dreams.
Skateboarder Chloe Cavell.
I reckon it's better to not play it safe and just go for gold.
Looking to break records.
There you go.
By flying high in Paris.
Any medal would do, but a gold one would be cherry on the top.
That's next on 60 Minutes.
How they finally trapped Australia's killers win.
I believe he had help.
The murder of Lynn Dawson. Next on 9.
Marissa shines again in the 100-meter finals.
We believe no journey is taken alone. Toyota. Start your impossible.
Hello. No. Have a good day.
$2 large chips? Great shout.
Ready? Yeah! Ready to explore Bluey's world for real life? Your Queensland holiday is waiting. Discover great deals on flights, hotels, or holiday packages to Queensland with Qantas. Book yours at qantas.com.
I think a nice Marlborough Sauv Blanc should do the trick.
Get the right drop for any occasion at Celebrations. Good shout.
I've been using and recommending Wet and Forget products for years. Clean and sanitise hard surfaces with Wet and Forget Indoor. Find a store near you. Visit wetandforget.com.au.
Wet to forget.
There'll be lunches from Cape York to Broome and on warm afternoons near Mudgee. Because Tip Top bakes every day with Australian wheat.
Can't have those colours on in here. You'd have to kill me to get this jacket off. I don't want any trouble here. Then I'll let you lead. What about the bar? Find it, pal.
We gotta go.
Nah, we don't. You're scared of us.
The Bike Riders, in cinemas Thursday.
Half-price bargains at Richie's IGA. 10-can packs of Pepsi, Solar or Schweppes, $9. Primo shortcut rindless bacon, just $8.40.
Marissa shines again in the 100-meter finals.
We believe no journey is taken alone. Toyota. Start your impossible.
Get ready as our Aussie Olympians take over Paris.
Your home of the Olympic Games Paris 2024. 9
Is
and 9 now.
and 9 now.
60 Minutes, brought to you by Toyota, Australian Olympic and Paralympic team partner. Oh, what a feeling.
Toyota.
Front feeble, switch, kick, flip, crook reaver, back 50, backside,
bump to nose grind. Following? They might be foreign to most of us, but to skateboarders, these words are the sweet sound of success if the tricks they describe are executed properly. And someone who usually does perform them perfectly is 14-year-old Australian Chloe Cavell. This young pocket rocket is our current #1 female street skater and is just days away from learning if she's going to the Olympics. Now, while Chloe probably doesn't want to think too far ahead, if she does win in Paris, she'll become the youngest ever Australian gold medalist, breaking a remarkable 68-year record. There are two sides to 14-year-old Chloe Cavell. There's the mild-mannered schoolgirl, and then there's Chloe the Flow, a determined skateboarding whiz kid tipped to be a gold medal contender in Paris. Chloe has been skating since she was 6 years old. And from her earliest days, her skills on the deck have been phenomenal. What is it about skateboarding that you like so much?
It's just the feeling of when I do it, like it's just really amazing to just be on the board. If you land a new trick, or like, you know, a trick you need to land to win the comp or something, the adrenaline just so high and it feels great.
We're just a regular family enjoying this amazing ride with this child that, we got sort of told that, oh, she's good, but we didn't realise how good.
With no background in skating, Chloe's parents, Julie and Luke, have been catapulted into a whole new world, with Luke, a former NRL player, taking on the role of coach.
Oh, Nelly.
The local skate park is as flash as Chloe's training ground gets. Is it sort of a sport that a mum and dad wants their daughter to participate in?
It was nothing that we were ever, against. We were just glad that she was out running around and having fun. And
I'm just thinking broken bones, scratches, concussion.
Yeah, of course. You get to a point where the tricks start becoming,
We're just talking about you breaking bones. Don't hurt yourself. Chloe was just 9 when she won her first skateboarding competition, but already she'd caught the eye of major sponsors. The young girl from Tweed Heads was on a path to international success. Is it a pinch yourself moment when somebody approaches you and says, we want to sponsor you, we want to give you money to do this?
It's a very amazing feeling. Like, I was 9 years old when Mum and Dad came up to me and told me that, Nike wanted to, get me on the team and stuff, and I, was so speechless. I, screamed and was the happiest kid ever.
Really?
Yeah.
So you knew even then how important it was?
Yeah, definitely.
The sponsor's talent spotting has paid off, with Chloe blitzing it at competition. At age 12, she became the youngest athlete to claim 2 X Games medals.
Flow, 2 in a row.
And last year, at just 13, she again conquered the X Games, becoming the youngest woman in its history to win gold.
I mean, she packed so many tricks in there. Front feeble, the rail, straight on that crook reaver, and then look at this, back 50, backside big spin.
Now, at 14, Chloe will compete at the Olympics in street skateboarding, ranked 4th in the world, but favoured as the one to watch. How do you think you'll go?
If I keep training my best and, just put it all in and give 100%, I hope that it all goes well and, get a medal, hopefully.
Yeah?
That's the goal.
Will any medal do?
Any medal would do, but a gold one would be, cherry on the top.
Show me your trophies, because I imagine you'd have a few by now.
Yeah, so we've got one here that haven't made enough room for it yet, but we've got all the ones here.
Yeah, you've got them hidden away.
Yeah.
Enter Chloe's tidy bedroom, and the commitment to her Olympic dream is everywhere. Is this the space for the missing Olympic medal?
Yeah, definitely.
I must say, without trying to sound like an old person, you have the cleanest wardrobe of any 14-year-old in the country.
Doesn't always stay this clean.
Really?
Yeah.
You sure?
Definitely not.
Chloe might look like any other school student, but clearly she's not.
You know, she's really down to earth and, you know, gets in. She's a little bit shy in my class, but she's a good student, a really great student, yeah.
So is she as dedicated to her studies as she is to her skating?
I think...
You have to be honest here.
Yes, I am being honest. I think I commend her because she comes into school and does what she needs to do. You know what I mean? Disconnect.
Virginia Lecente is Chloe's Year 9 English teacher at Palm Beach Currumbin High. While her young student is often away 2 weeks out of 4, Virginia says Chloe sets a terrific example of juggling it all.
I think her age also is important to the message.
Who here is going to the Olympics?
Chloe.
What do you guys think of skateboarding being an Olympic sport?
I think it's cool. It's like, I don't know, it's kind of like scary seeing people do all the tricks and stuff, so it's cool they can do it. And that Chloe can do it.
Yeah, she's like 14 years old and she's going to the Olympics.
Like dressing adults.
That's crazy.
And beating them.
All right, girls, say cheese. Thank you.
All good.
Skateboarding is an infant in the Olympic arena. Paris will only be its second outing, and it is proudly a young person's sport. But perfecting top-scoring tricks takes maturity, patience, repetition, and plenty of bruises. There you go. You've got such a determined look on your face. You're going to get these, aren't you?
Yeah, one now, Will.
Whoa! Are we happy with that?
Thank you.
It's good to see the smile back.
Yeah.
The interesting thing about your sport is how sort of unreliable it is. Like, you know, everything comes down to one trick that you might only get 1 in 20 times.
Yeah.
You've got to be pretty brave to try that trick at competition, don't you?
Yeah, definitely. I reckon it's better to not play it safe and just, you know, go for gold than rather play it safe and probably not get as many points.
Trying to stabilize through the core, controlling the way down.
There's a lot riding on her shoulders. If she wins, Chloe will be the youngest Australian Olympian to win a gold medal, since Sandra Morgan did so in 1956 at the Melbourne Games. Hi, Sandra.
Hi.
It's Chloe.
Hi.
Chloe.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to
Good.
meet you. Come in.
Just 14 and a half, Sandra swam in the 4x100 metre freestyle relay with Dawn Fraser, Lorraine Crabb and Faith Leach to beat the US for gold.
4 very excited world champions.
Her record has stood for 68 years. So, Sandra, this little upstart wants to take your record, don't you?
Yes, definitely.
It's been around for a long time, which we worked out this morning, 16 Olympics since I won my gold medal.
At 82, Sandra has a few tips for the 14-year-old.
One thing you don't do is you don't allow it all to go to your head.
Very good advice.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
So just that grounded, being grounded.
Before showing Chloe the coveted gold.
Your head now.
Wow, that's very cool.
Rub it. Rub it for luck.
Love it.
There we are.
Good luck. Thank you.
Speaking to someone who's been there and done it, does it make it even more real for you?
Yeah, definitely. Like, it's all right in front of me and I just need to take it now and keep working really hard.
Yeah, that's right. And just keep your eyes on the goal, right? Yeah.
Sure.
Chloe Cavell, big kickflip. It just hangs in the air.
Takes the lead. Chloe Cavell.
So when there's so much build-up, like an event like the Olympics, how much do you worry about her if it doesn't go to plan, if she doesn't come home with a medal?
Yeah, it's definitely something that I know we're both wary of. You just want her to know that some days aren't your day and just got to learn to be a bit humble. It's not hard to be a good person, and it's not about winning the gold or winning whatever competition. If you're a good person and you're getting out there and having a crack, it's pretty good, I think.
In what has to be the most anticipated competition of her young life, not only does Chloe Cavell seem to have the character to get through the Olympics, she also has time on her side, no matter the result. What if it doesn't happen, Chloe?
I guess just focus on the next one. I'll keep my head up, never give up, and keep skating and living my dream and hopefully get a medal one day.
And that's our program for tonight. But before we go, a reminder to have your say about the show. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram and TikTok. To catch up on stories you've missed and to check out the 60 Minutes 24/7 channel, head to 9 Now. We'll be back next week with another edition of 60 Minutes. I'm Tara Brown. Good night.